Women on the rise. Let's close the gender gap. The new leadership culture needs female qualities. Under the title Women for Change, Passion into Action, the 9th Women Leadership Forum is designed to show that change is possible when passion leads your way.
Let us start this 9th Women Leadership Forum and start it with giving Renate and her team a big applause, who made that happen once more, which is still in an ongoing pandemic, not the most easiest thing to organize, plan, and make all this happen. And of course, we're also very happy to be here hosted once more by the UNIDO, so thank you very much for having us. Let's jump into today's high-level conference, and it's Women for Change, our motto today. Renate Altenhofer, it's your floor. Happy to have you.
In our fractured world, marked by the ongoing pandemic, the digital transformation, and hotspots, where women are currently once again being set back light years in their development, it is even more important to empower female leaders to become catalysts for change.
At the moment, countries are facing many different challenges, yet empowering women remain a global imperative not only for the UN but also for those who are concerned about fairness and diversity, but also productivity and growth of societies. Empowered women means empowered communities, empowered women means stronger economy, and empowered women means a more sustainable future for all.
In many parts of the world, women's participation in business, and especially in tech sciences, is still structurally limited. I'll give you an example. The Department of State established the Office of Global Women's Issues, which works across the United States government to increase women's empowerment. Through our embassies, it initiates programs in countries around the world to boost the economic, political, and social status of women and girls. I think that the implementation of these programs for women worldwide plays an important role in the global economic recovery from the pandemic especially. Having said that, there is, of course, a lot of work to be done. As you all know, with the right outlook, any challenge can also represent an opportunity. This is why events like the Women Leadership Forum are so important. It gives us the opportunity to work together on this challenge and on other issues facing women leaders globally.
Keynote intervention, Mind the Gap. Leapfrogging opportunities to close the gender gap.
It is a great honor for me to participate in the Women's Leadership Forum, and from my point of view, the event is a great opportunity to attract attention to the issues of balanced diversity and women's leadership and open new career horizons for the participants. UNIDO pays great attention to the women's leadership in industrial companies. We hope that cooperation with the international women's community will help to promote gender-balanced development agenda, and together we could achieve additional synergy in the field.
Dialogue. Women on the Rise. The Modern Leadership. Due to the COVID-19 crisis, the digital transformation has experienced a real boost in the last 18 months. How do you assess the current situation regarding the filling of women in top positions?
I think we're in the good direction, so I'm an optimist at heart, but I believe we still have a lot of way to go. Even at the Coca-Cola company, I can proudly say that we have now 46% of our top leadership positions are filled by women. But by 2030, we want globally to reach 50%. So this is an important milestone that has been achieved so far, but I believe, including Coca-Cola, all the companies have a way to go.
So yes, you're completely right. The digitalization really we experienced a real boost in the COVID-19 with digitalization, and you know that in my opinion, this digitalization and this going back to privacy did not support the women that much, because often women just decide to support their spouses and their families with their work and their time, and therefore they stepped back a little bit.
Would you say that the transformation has not given women a boost?
Of course it's been given a boost, because the woman and the man, don't forget about the man, can be more flexible at home. It's not only the women who should stay at home and take over the care work, home office, for home schooling for the children. There's the man as well. So please take in mind, there's the danger of vanishing more or less in the backyards again.
Women on the rise, the modern leadership. What actions should be taken to evolve from competence to confidence?
So I think there are two levels on which actions could be taken. Obviously, this refers to women who should evolve from competence to confidence. So there can be actions on the individual level, but there could also be actions on a company or a society level. I think on an individual level, the key point is to consciously focus on be more consciously focused on the idea that you'll never be fully ready for the next step. You never feel like you're fully qualified for anything. There's a bit of ambiguity, and you need to embrace that. You feel more confident with that ambiguity, and then overcome that confidence gap that one of my previous fellow speakers also mentioned. And then, of course, on a company level, I think mentors are the key to help women come from competence to confidence, to kind of showcase them and feedback on them that how well they are perceived, and that the shortcomings that sometimes women tend to focus on and think too much about, that they're actually not perceived outside of their own head.
Masterclass. The new business hyperreality. How to stay competitive in two worlds. How can women reinvent themselves and thrive into fine tech and green tech industries in this new hyper-reality?
It is always very important to look at trends and how everything develops. And especially in green tech, we have the possibility to combine a prosperous economy and still save our ecology. And we can create a win-win situation, and then we can be successful. And in my opinion, it is very important to take 4 I's into consideration. The first is innovation. Innovation is the driving force where we can reach our goal. Then we have investment. We need, of course, money for projects. We need information, the third I. Everyone needs to know what they shall do. And then the fourth is internationalization. So this means that we need to bring technology to other markets, and then to create this win-win situation for both sides.
Panel number 1. Fourth Industrial Revolution, Female Evolution, Shaping the Digital World and AI. Technology is reshaping business. What advantages does the Fourth Industrial Revolution present for women?
I can see 2 dimensions. The first one is new ways of work. New ways of work with flexibility and new working models is enabled by the technologies of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and I think these are really great opportunities for women. We at the WOMEN, for example, we are offering hybrid culture meetings, and we are offering different flexible work models, and we can see that parents are returning faster than in the past, because it's easier for them to balance the private and the business life. And the second dimension I would like to highlight is I see a potential new wave of female leadership, because artificial intelligence leaders need to be curious. They need to be able and willingness to, and have the willingness to take decisions in an uncertain environment. They have to take risks, and these qualities we can find with many female leaders, and therefore I think that artificial intelligence and Fourth Industrial Revolution are really great opportunities for women.
How can we motivate women to be more brave, and do you think that the Fourth Industrial Revolution will be gender blind?
I think already today we heard very great stories, and that's what we need. We need role models, we need stories, we need something what young women and ladies can follow and believe in, really. Because at the moment I believe that really AI, data science, all that is really changing the world. And we would like to believe that it's really gender blind. But in reality, it's only going to be if we also work for that and we decide that we want it to be gender blind. And we really need us to work on that and to demystify for women the whole data science and the whole AI industry a little bit, to make it more interesting and make it to believe that they can also do it.
At the start of it, it won't be gender blind because we are moving from a third industrial revolution that's been dominated by men, but we will see that that's changing, and the main force behind this change is we require new skills that are strong by women: multitasking, instincts, emotional intelligence, and then we will get to a much more gender balanced workforce. And I think this fourth industrial revolution, at the heart of it is diversity, because if we don't move to diversity, we will get biased systems, unfair systems, and we cannot accept that in our societies. So as we make the transition, we will see that it's gonna get better, but what we need to get there faster is to make technology and maths and science much more attractive for girls and for women, starting from school, from primary schools, growing up to university. And also we need to create an environment for women to fail and to stand up again at colleges, at universities, at schools, that we can prepare them for a business world that's been dominated by men for a very long time.
And it is not because we are the only smart people in the world, because we aren't. I don't think someone said before, as a man, I don't believe I'm super special. So just normal people. But if we put together the groups, if we put together the expertise, the passion, the different skills that men and women can have.
And one initiative that I wanted to share with you is an initiative that a Googler started. She came from this idea that she observed on herself that it was not easy to talk about success as a woman as it is maybe for men, right? Just taking things like gender modesty norms into account. That.
Panel number 2. Smart Financing, the Entrepreneur's Edition. From your perspective, do women struggle more to raise capital?
Well, if we believe in statistics, European tech startups apparently show a huge investment gap. So apparently only 2% of the invested capital is going to startups with all female founders, whereas 93% of investment capital goes to startups with all male founders. So there must be a huge gap between men and women.
In my opinion, there is definitely a high positive correlation between bank success and having gender diversity in the teams. And especially this female wealth is a growing opportunity for the banks. It's a too good opportunity to miss. And when banks learn how to also serve female clients, they will also get a lot of benefits of this fact. I think everyone is going to just win from diversity.
Is founding a startup a reliable way for women to avoid the gender pay gap?
Well, I definitely think it is, because on the end of the day, if you found your own company, you're like in the driver's seat of your company, and this gives you a lot of freedom and decision making, of course. And I guess this is like a very good way. But what needs to be mentioned on the other side is like the first couple of years as a startup is a very hard way, basically, where you can't expect like huge salaries. But this doesn't matter whether you're male or female, right?
Everything is about, do I add value by what I do to my customers, to my users, to my patients, whatever the context is. When do we need Agile? We need it to deal with complex situations, come to complexity in a minute, and with this rapidly changing requirements.
Roundtable. The female game changers.
Increasing the number of role models or women that succeeded, whether it is in industry or science or any field that are bringing some value to the society, will for sure increase this visibility and reduce this gap. Because the future is for younger generations, and if we don't provide them with those images and role models, the stereotypes will still exist and persist.
I think many people are already there, and I think even in this panel we kind of understand already what it means that there's no hierarchies anymore. Sometimes it's really whoever can, have the knot in the network and who can fulfill it. But what I'm also learning is that employees sometimes even are not there yet. I'm quite astonished, even people my age, a little bit younger or older. We still need actually the path on the employer way as well, because sometimes they're demanding much more stricter hierarchical structures, because on the one hand maybe they were told that way that it's gonna be, or on the other hand maybe they have their first practice in that way, and sometimes they feel otherwise a bit lost. This is why I would foster so much more this entrepreneurial approach in education in general, so that we actually have people coming out there that know how to work also in this new type of way, because I think otherwise you just have to have the personality status quo, but I think we have to get people there in that system as well.
Women as game changers, do you think that only people in senior management positions can be game changers?
It's easier to be a game changer if you are in a senior position, but you can be a game changer also in a minor position if you dare to try new things, and if you succeed in trying new things, and if you're good, so you can change the game.